Good evening, students. Welcome to Navya's class, Nationalism in India, episode 2. In previous class, we have discussed about effect of the World War on India and meaning of the nationalism and early satyagraha of Mahatma Gandhi ji. Today, we are going to discuss further more concept, that is Rowlatt Act. So, what do you mean by Rowlatt Act? Rowlatt Act was an act which passed by the British government to control the Indian nationalists. It gave the government enormous powers to repress the political activities and allowed detention political prisoners without trial for 2 years. So Mahatma Gandhi ji considered this is one of the very rude act against Indian nationalists. So he decided to launch nationwide satyagraha against it. So he planned that satyagraha would start with the hartal on 6 April. So rallies were organized in various cities, workers went on strikes, then British government or British administration decided to clamp down the nationalists. Anyhow, they wanted to control Indians or one who are involved in freedom struggle. And local leaders were picked from the Amritsar. Mahatma Gandhi ji restricted to enter Delhi. They were not allowed. So on 10 April, the police in Amritsar fired upon peaceful procession that made Indians very aggressive, and that incident provoked Indians. So widespread attacks happened, situation went out of the control. So on 10th April, police in Amritsar, as they fired, then due to the violence, they wanted to control the situation. What they did, British government imposed martial law. So General Dyer was given command on it. So on 13th April, okay, so this infamous Jallianwala Bagh incident took place. So how it happened? So actually people were gathered in Jallianwala Bagh to celebrate Baisakhi festival, and some of the people gathered for protest against the British government. Okay, so now uh, in the spot on the Jallianwala Bagh, Dyer entered over there with his troop, and without giving any kind of warning or to the people, he blocked all the exit points and ordered to his troops open fire on the crowd. So this incident killed hundreds of people. Okay, so what was his thought when he was when actually he explained about his object, as he declared later, was to produce a moral effect, to create in the minds of satyagrahis a feeling of terror, or he want to create one kind of terror among the people. So people should not have any kind of courage to protest against the British government. So that news spreaded across the India. So as the incident held in Jallianwala Bagh, so crowds gathered on the streets. Okay, so they targeted British buildings and offices and railways. All the properties which belongs to British. So Britishers also did not give up. So anyhow they wanted to control the Indians. Satyagrahis were forced to they were given punishment, so forced to rub their nose to ground, crawl on the streets, and do salute to the British officials. And people were beaten, and especially villages of Punjab, and now there are some regions in Pakistan, and the regions were bombed. So violence spread across the country. So Mahatma Gandhi ji called up the uh, movement. So now he realized, okay, without planning, or Indians need to be trained very well before launching the this kind of satyagraha. So he wanted to have one widespread movement. This movement is very limited to the few cities and towns. So Mahatma Gandhi ji felt okay, all the groups of Indians not involved it. So he wanted one reason to bring the Muslims to the freedom struggle. So then he heard about Khilafat issue. Now, what you mean Khilafat issue? So the First World War had ended with the defeat of Ottoman Turkey, and there were rumors that harsh peace treaty was going to be imposed on the Ottoman Empire, the spiritual head of the Islamic world, the Khalifa. Actually, Khalifa means the spiritual head of Muslims. So that rumors were there across the European countries and Asian countries. To defend the Caliph's temporal power, a Khilafat committee was formed in Bombay in March 1919. When? March 1919. And the young leaders, or we can say they were brothers actually, Shaukat Ali and Muhammad Ali. They founded the Khilafat committee and discussed with the Mahatma Gandhi ji to launch Khilafat movement. Okay, so when you are talking about this issue, so many of the Congress leaders were not interested to take part, but Mahatma Gandhi ji find this actually one opportunity to bring Muslims under the umbrella of a unified national movement. So he wanted to utilize. So finally he convinced uh, Congress members September 1920, and he explained the need of starting non-cooperation movement in support of Khilafat as well as Swaraj. So finally 1920, this what we non-cooperation movement in support of Khilafat issue.